It was supposed to be a sweet moment at a Coldplay concert, but when the kiss cam landed on the CEO and his head of HR, it didn't just spark laughter. It blew open one of the most humiliating corporate scandals the internet has ever seen, complete with leaked messages, secret phones, and betrayal that even their families are exposing in real time. Former astronomer.com CEO Andy Byron thought he was just another face in the crowd. But when the camera zoomed in and the stadium screen lit up with his image, the entire world saw something his wife and kids never should have him leaning in toward Kristin Cabot, the company's head of HR, in a moment that looked far too intimate for a married man. Within hours, that short clip was everywhere. Twitter, TikTok, Reddit. Memes exploded, headlines screamed, and strangers across the globe debated whether this was an innocent moment or the most public workplace affair in recent memory. But as the internet laughed, his family cried, and that's when the real damage began. It started with whispers in private group chats, but those whispers turned into a roar when Andy's own teenage daughter allegedly leaked private recordings and messages that painted a devastating picture of what was really going on. Screenshots surfaced showing late-night texts from Kristin popping up on his phone, the kind of messages no married man should be getting. One alleged message from the daughter read, "Mom has been crying for weeks. Kristin's name keeps showing up at night. It's disgusting." That's when the internet's curiosity turned into pure outrage. Suddenly, this wasn't just about a viral kiss cam clip. It was about betrayal, family heartbreak, and the shattering of a CEO's image in front of millions. From there, the story spiraled into something far darker than a Coldplay concert mishap. Rumors began swirling that Andy's wife, Megan, had discovered a burner phone hidden in the glove compartment of her Tesla, and what she allegedly found inside was enough to make anyone's blood run cold. Secret email accounts, hotel bookings under fake names, love poems with titles like Constellations and Coffee that read like bad romance novels, only these weren't fiction. And then came the whispers of a recorded conversation between Andy and Kristin discussing how to dodge HR policy violations, making it sound less like an office fling and more like a calculated corporate cover-up. Suddenly, people weren't just talking about cheating, they were talking about ethics, manipulation, and how deep this web of lies might really go. By the time Section 4 hit the public narrative, Kristin's world was unraveling just as fast. Former coworkers began coming forward with cryptic LinkedIn posts and thinly veiled tweets, hinting that this wasn't the first time she'd been at the center of office drama. One ex-employee even claimed she had a talent for finding her way into the personal lives of the higher-ups, a polite way of saying she knew how to climb the ladder through backroom relationships. Then a shocking detail emerged. Kristin had reportedly been given a mysterious promotion last year with no clear job description, no public announcement, and a salary bump that insiders said made zero sense for her role. The internet started piecing the puzzle together. Was this all just a coincidence, or was Kristin's rapid rise in the company fueled by something far more scandalous than hard work? Screenshots began circulating from an anonymous email dump allegedly sent to multiple media outlets, showing flirty late-night messages between Andy and Kristin, some of which were time-stamped during important board meetings. One in particular made jaws drop. Kristin telling Andy, "You look so bored in that meeting today. Wish you were under my desk instead." That single line became meme gold, plastered across Twitter, Instagram, and even TikTok remixes with Coldplay's Fix You playing in the background. But the leak didn't just embarrass them, it hinted at something more dangerous. In one message, Andy appeared to advise Kristin on how to bypass internal expense tracking so their private lunches wouldn't raise suspicion in accounting. Suddenly, this wasn't just messy, it was edging into possible financial misconduct, the kind of thing corporate lawyers lose sleep over. Reports surfaced that Coldplay's tour PR team, yes, the same team meant to handle fan engagement, had been roped into managing Kristin's growing crisis. One insider claimed they were told to quietly scrub certain images and videos from the band's official social channels, especially any kiss cam clips that showed her too prominently. Even wilder, venue staff from multiple shows came forward saying they were given verbal orders to seat Kristin in prime camera zones during performances, almost as if someone was trying to build her a public profile from scratch. And then came the most damning revelation yet. An internal memo allegedly instructed security to treat her as VIP access all areas, despite her having no official role on the tour. The picture painted itself. Kristin wasn't just an HR exec anymore. She had somehow become an untouchable insider in one of the world's most famous bands' orbit. Reports surfaced that Coldplay's tour PR team, yes, the same team meant to handle fan engagement, had been roped into managing Kristin's growing crisis. One insider claimed they were told to quietly scrub certain images and videos from the band's official social channels, especially any kiss cam clips that showed her too prominently. Even wilder, venue staff from multiple shows came forward saying they were given verbal orders to seat Kristin in prime camera zones during performances, almost as if someone was trying to build her a public profile from scratch. And then came the most damning revelation yet. An internal memo allegedly instructed security to treat her as VIP access all areas, despite her having no official role on the tour. The picture painted itself. Kristin wasn't just an HR exec anymore. She had somehow become an untouchable insider in one of the world's most famous bands' orbit. The so-called controlled narrative collapsed the moment a former Coldplay crew member went public, claiming Kristin's VIP privileges were personally approved by Andy through back-channel deals. Within hours, mainstream outlets picked up the story, framing it as a mix of corporate favoritism, marital betrayal, and Rocky Tour intrigue. Paparazzi staked out Kristin's condo, Andy's office went into full lockdown, and a blurry clip of Kristin entering a lady night meeting with a Coldplay tour manager went viral, fueling the idea that the scandal was still alive behind the scenes. What had started as a bizarre kiss cam moment had now snowballed into a PR wildfire that neither Coldplay nor Andy could extinguish. And the cruel irony? Every attempt to bury the story only made it burn brighter, cementing this as one of the most bizarre and humiliating corporate-celebrity crossovers in recent memory. In the end, the Coldplay kiss cam scandal became more than just a fleeting moment of awkward lip lock. It became a cultural lightning rod, the perfect storm of corporate arrogance, social media hysteria, and celebrity spectacle colliding in front of millions. Andy's once-y spotless CEO image, carefully built over years of polished interviews and investor-friendly charm, was now permanently stained with the smear of public humiliation. Kristin's reputation transformed overnight from an anonymous HR executive quietly managing office disputes to a front-page tabloid fixture, her name now synonymous with one of the most talked-about viral moments of the year. Coldplay, the band that had nothing to do with the drama, suddenly found themselves dragged into the center of a scandal they never invited their concert, immortalized not for the music, but for the kiss heard round the internet. What was meant to be an unforgettable night of live performance became a case study in the brutal efficiency of internet culture. How one unscripted moment can spiral beyond anyone's control in a matter of hours. The fallout didn't stop when the crowd went home. Boardrooms buzzed with whispered conversations about damage control, HR scrambled to manage internal gossip, and lawyers quietly reviewed the fine print in corporate contracts. All the while, social media kept the scandal alive, dissecting every frame, every smirk, every glance. And in the digital age, where screenshots never fade and memes travel faster than truth, the punishment was swift and merciless.